This is the Rays POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Tampa Bay Rays, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What a day to be a Rays fan. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tampa Bay Rays POSTCAST, your spot for instant Rays reaction after every single Rays victory, and this victory was especially sweet. I'm Jonathan Shields. I'm going to be with you for every single one of these POSTCAST episodes after every single game, and just a little bit more about me, so hopefully we get a few more viewers after beating the Yankees, having a big-time series win after going on that slide. I'm a lifelong Rays fan. I was born and raised in this Tampa Bay, most notably the St. Petersburg area, about 10 minutes from the Trop. I've been to over 200 Rays games, and I'm just super excited to be able to cover this team on a daily basis with all of you. In this one, we're going to talk about how the offense is alive. We're going to talk about how good and how special Chandler Simpson's speed was. We're going to talk about how Taj Bradley battled all day today and kept the Yankees bats just enough at bay. And then we're going to look ahead to the series against the Philadelphia Phillies. But first, we're going to be talking about, and I don't know if everyone's talking about, is the production from the bottom of the lineup.
This is what you'll be talking about.
I don't know about you guys, but when I saw the 6, 7, 8, 9 of Mead, Jankowski, Rortvedt, and Walls, I was scared. I was happy that they gave Mead a start against a righty. I was optimistic a little bit about Jankowski because he was been putting together good at-bats. I had no faith in Bennett Rortvedt, and it's well documented how Rays Nation feels about Taylor Walls. But 7 through 9, so we'll take out Curtis Mead as I thought he had some good swings on the ball, but unfortunately went 0 for 5. Jankowski, 3 for 5, 2 runs. Taylor Walls, 4 for 5, 2 runs. And Ben Rortvedt, even though he went 0 for 4, he had a big walk that kind of started the spark and started the Rays seeing the good at-bats. And I recall a certain postcast host saying yesterday that the Rays offense is what was doing what you see when a player comes out of a slump. They were taking more pitches, they're putting the barrel of the ball, and they were really putting together really good at-bats. And I said yesterday the Rays were going to break out of it and come out with a big and score more than 4 runs and break that streak. And they did. So I'm not going to say that Kevin Cash put the Rays postcast on in the locker room before the game, but I am taking credit for the Rays offensive performance. But no, seriously, the bottom of the order was huge for this because none of those guys had an RBI, but between Jankowski and Walls, they combined to score 4 of the 7 runs. That is huge. So we talked about lengthening this lineup so the harder your order, or the top of your order, your big bats can drive you in. Brandon Lau, a big 2 RBIs. Yandy, big RBI. Jonathan Aranda, big 3 RBIs. The way that we've been talking about how the Rays offense has to score is exactly what they did today. And that's why it was so rewarding to watch, because we've been talking about it. They played the Rays way. The Rays aren't going to beat you with power. Aranda had that big-time home run, but they're going to beat you with their speed. They're going to beat you with their situational hitting. And they're most of the time going to beat you getting that runner in from third, which is what they practiced so much during spring training. It was really good to see them do it in a huge situation like this today. And that's the Rays' way to win. And while we're talking about Jonathan Aranda, he was fantastic. Let's get to our player of the game early in the episode.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Yeah, Jonathan Aranda. I wanted so badly to give it to the combination of Jankowski and Walls because I don't know if we're ever going to see another Taylor Walls 4-hit day, if I'm being honest. He's been fantastic the last 3 or 4 games. It's really good to see. But Jonathan Aranda, 3 hits, 3 RBIs, had that big-time home run that kind of just – that's when I realized, like, oh, here we go. Like, it made it 2-0, and that's when I was starting to be like, oh, they're going to really break this thing open. Like, they're going to score today. And we talked about it. Will Warren – the Rays had the pitching advantage. The Rays had the matchup advantage in the starting with the starting pitching. And I said that yesterday. I said it 2 games ago, where the Rays need to take advantage of the Yankees not throwing Max Fried and not having their best pitchers available right now. Obviously, Garrett Cole's out for the year, and the Rays did. Where the Yankees did not throw the ace, the Rays won the games, and that's what the Rays need to do if they're going to continue to struggle against the ace. And I thought that was huge spot and a huge 2 wins for the Rays. And we're going to get to the turning point, and the turning point might not be what you guys think it's going to be.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
It's very easy to go to USADA in this and say that, 2 on, or he did just enough to kind of calm the storm a little bit. But I'm going to the bottom of the third. First and second, no outs. It was after Aranda hit the home run. the Rays finally got some momentum, and Aaron Judge comes to the plate, who's the best player in baseball. And Taj got him to ground into such a key double play. And right there, I thought that's the turning point. That's kind of the bump that the Rays need. It got a little shaky. The Yankees are going to score, but it felt good to get the Rays to have a little bit more cushion before the Yankees score. So that's why that is my turning point. It's just I cannot overstate how big these last two wins were for the Rays. After the game on Friday, we talked about kind of how bleak everything looked, or I did at least, where they lose 4 in a row. But now, if you look from a larger picture, the Rays have won 3 of their last 4 series. They won the Diamondback series, won the Padres series, won the Yankees series. And if you had told me that before the Arizona series, I'm like, oh, yeah, there you go. That's what this team needs to do. So I think in a long sport like baseball, and I even said there's 130 some odd games left. It's, don't hit the panic button yet on the season. You could hit the panic button on the offense. But I also said that offense hit rock bottom on Friday night against the Yankees. And I literally thought they could only go up from here. And, well, they're going way up right now. It's so good to see this offense come alive. Before we get to Chandler Simpson and how just spectacular his speed is, if you're watching the replay, make sure you leave a like and comment. If you're watching live, make sure to leave a comment. We'll be getting to all the comments like we always do at the end of the video. And also, before we get to Chandler Simpson's speed, we're going to take a quick ad break. This episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in. Your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, invest and spending in one place, so you stop just managing your money, you start building wealth. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track spending, and even long-term plan goals. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first order. That's 50% off your first order. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. This episode is also brought to you by Upwork. Scaling your business requires the right expertise at the right time. With Upwork, you can find specialized freelancers in marketing, development, design, and more. Experts ready to help you take your business to the next level. Upwork gives you business flexibility by connecting them with top freelance talent across multiple industries, including IT, AI, web development, and marketing. Whether you needed extra hands for a project or a long-term partner, Upwork makes hiring simple and affordable. If you need help with a marketing campaign, Upwork can connect you with a freelance expert who delivers incredible response. Visit Upwork.com right now and post your job for free. That's UPWORK.com, Upwork.com, to connect with top talent and grow your business today. But now let's get to Chandler Simpson, because I thought he was key in that top of the 4th inning when the Rays kind of started to break it open a little bit. And it was also the turning point of the double play where the Rays came to bat and was like, and now they almost hit the Yankees with a knockout punch right there. And obviously it starts with Jankowski with the single, and then Walls gets on. And then all of a sudden here's Chandler Simpson, who outruns a ball, or he gets on, and his speed is so electric. When the ball goes and it's a little error, Chandler Simpson on second, he scores home, and he scores from second to home. And any other player in that instance gets thrown out, I'm convinced. Maybe besides Ellie De La Cruz, and maybe like Fernando Tatis, or insert your fast player here. But there are very few people, Bobby Witt, very few people that can do that and have the confidence to do that. MLB posted on Instagram, his speed is just electric. He had another one where he literally beat a ground ball to second base. It is just incredible. And the momentum that creates, the juice that creates in the clubhouse, I firmly believe it's infectious. And it's so positive to see that at the top of the lineup after he went through his, he might still hit a rookie wall, but he was in an 0 for 14, a 1 for 17, a 2 for 20. So it's really good to see him still play with that confidence and that level of electricity. And he's just so fun to watch. I mean, I think elevates the Rays ceiling so much, and he's had struggles in the outfield. He's had struggles at the plate, which rookies are going to do. But his speed and how dynamic he can be just unlocks just a multitude of different ways that the Rays can win. But let's get to Taj Bradley. I know this is all about the offense, as the first point of this show is the offense is alive. And obviously the Rays answered. I thought it was another big turning point before we get to Taj after we kind of move off with offense. The Rays scoring in the 7th ended up being huge as the Yankees would come back and score 5 runs, led by Aaron Judge's double as he continues his hitting streak. Something about big-time players and extending their hitting streaks against the Rays. But it goes back to Jonathan Aranda and just how good he was. But I thought Taj Bradley really battled in this game, as, again, he only had 1 strikeout. He went 5 1/3, but he only gave up 4 hits. Again, just like Zach Littell, just like a lot of these other Rays pitchers, especially Ryan Pepio, who haven't been getting the strikeouts, they've been getting the soft contact. And again, we talked about the double play, how key that was, but just a lot of Yankee hitters getting underneath it, right? Popping it up, weak grounders. And it never really felt like he was in danger until that 6th inning after he got the first out, where things started to unravel a little bit. And then obviously we had the Cody Bellinger home run to make it 5-2 in that 6th inning. But I thought the way he battled, and he's done this a few times. And I thought I mentioned this yesterday, the way the Rays starters has been able to give length and protect this bullpen a little bit is huge. I saw today that the Rays are 22nd in bullpen innings pitched, which is really good. That means your starter is going a long way. And the Rays have been really good with that. The starters providing length, which has been big for this bullpen, because if you put these bullpen pieces, especially the back end guys, in with a lead, the Rays are going to be very, very tough to keep, especially when Pete Fairbanks is absolutely locked in like he is right now. So a quick recap before we look ahead. Again, huge for the Rays. I mentioned it yesterday. The Rays got the bats going. I said yesterday that this was the game that they were going to break out, and they did. And it was so, so good to see. It starts with the bottom of the lineup. Jankowski, Walls getting on for the big-time hitters. Good to see Brandon Lau. He's not completely out of his slump, but to get the big-time single, 2 RBI scored. Obviously, Jonathan Aranda was unbelievable, and this one had the home run. Another big RBI single as well. And then Yandy, he's so consistent. His plate appearances, his approach. There's no hitter I'm more comfortable with in a big spot than Yandy Diaz. I hope he's up with the bases loaded to us more than any other player on this team. He always just puts together such a good at bat. As we look ahead, as the Philadelphia Phillies come to town, and we've mentioned it a ton right now, the Phillies are actually losing to the Diamondbacks right now before they're going to cop over and have an off day tomorrow, just like the Rays, and come to Tampa. We talked about it. The Rays are almost out of the stretch. They have this home series against the Phillies in Milwaukee before they go to Toronto. Then they get a little breather with Miami. But this stretch is just brutal for the first half of the year. But let's look ahead to tomorrow, as the Rays are going to have to deal with another ace, as it will be Drew Rasmussen versus Zach Wheeler. Obviously, Zach Wheeler is a righty. The Rays have fared better against righties this year. So far this year, Wheeler is 2-1 with a 3.4 ERA. So that's what the Rays are going to have to contend with tomorrow. And look, if the Rays want to be good, if the Rays want to do more than just tread water, they're going to have to put together consistent at-bats against these aces, against these star pitchers. And what are the Rays? Is this Rays offense just a flash in the pan, or are they going to be more consistent right now, scoring those runs? Christopher Morel was not in the lineup today. Junior was not in the lineup today. You did it with a lot of guys. Your key hitters who were on the base were guys you wouldn't expect to be. So maybe that can lead to be a good thing, that, yes, you can get this lineup depth, but also some of your bigger hitters aren't in the game and didn't play today. So therefore, they're kind of due to also start hitting as well. As you know, we're taking it from an optimistic Rays fan perspective right now. So we're about to get to the comments like we always do. If you guys are in the live, leave a comment. We're going to get to them after a few more points. And I briefly want to talk about the Yankees, because the Yankees are hurting today. Obviously, Bobby didn't play today. He kind of got hurt yesterday, but Jazz is out for a little bit. And the Yankees lineup depth is just not there right now. And I know this isn't Yankees postcast, but it could be important to know, because the Yankees lead the division. The Rays are only 3 games back, and Jazz is going to be out for a little bit. I don't know what to do with Volpe. Might have just been an off day, but that Yankees lineup, 6 through 9 hitters, and I know Ben Rice didn't play today also, but that bottom of the Yankees lineup for the foreseeable future is lacking some punch, and their starting pitching outside of Max Fried also lacking some punch. So I'm only saying that because the Yankees are 3 games above the Rays. Don't be surprised if the Yankees lose a few games coming here a little bit, as I'm going to briefly look at the Yankee schedule to see if they have tough games. Yeah, they play San Diego next, and San Diego is a big-time offense, and their pitching staff is really good as well. You know, they get San Diego, and then they go to Oakland and Seattle, then the Mets and the Rangers. So they got a tough little stretch right there, where you hope that, you know, since they're leading the division, they got some guys banged up, that the Rays can make up even more ground. But let's get to the comments. There is a lot of them, as we got a lot of people just saying, Rays up, let's go. Yeah, we need to crack the Steinbrenner code. I agree. They really do. As another great day for the offense, just with the pitching, and I thought that was also key. It was big for the Rays offense to do this because, like I said, the Rays pitching isn't going to be stellar every game. You're going to need to win these games where your pitching staff gives up more than 3 runs, and it's really nice to see that the Rays picked up the pitching staff after a tough pitching performance. As we go to Michael Dean, another series win for the road Rays. Yes, it was. And someone else said they need to crack the Steinbrenner code. Yes, they do. They need to start winning series at home. 4-2 on this homestand. That's more than treading water. That's really taking advantage of this opportunity that the Rays have right now. Keep stacking series victories. That's what you need to do until you get some of your guys back. Guys like Cameron Meisner, we mentioned it 2 or 3 videos ago. He still hasn't put it together. He's still struggling big time. So it would be nice to get some of those outfield backs. But until then, you need to keep stacking wins and when you can. And you got a guy like Drew Rasmussen and Shane Baz follows him. The Rays pitching staff is going to keep him afloat. Can the offense take him over the top and not just keep him afloat, but really kind of break over and get a few games above 500 and then coast from there until the guys get back? We go to Mike H., who said we got to give credit to Walls. I agree. Taylor Walls was fantastic today. And if he's obviously not going to he probably won't have another 4-hit game all season. So if he can just give anything offensively, if he can just hit over 200, if he can hit 220, that is huge. Just absolutely huge for this Rays offense and the depth of that lineup. We go to our guy Gary, as they just have to figure out how to win consistently at home. That's all they got to do, and it's a lot easier said than done. As we go to Douglas, he says, happy for the win, up 5-0. Still concerned, especially with the Yanks. Love Fairbanks in the 9th. Not sold on Englert as a reliever. And Engler's just there until Kevin Kelly comes back. So he did struggle again today, but I liked how Cash didn't leave him in there trying to figure out. After 3 batters, immediately pulled him out, went to Uceta, and then obviously Pete slammed it down in the 9th. As we go to I Love Legos. Good evening. Glad we took 2 of the series. We keep this up. I see ourselves on hunt for a wild card. If the Rays can get any sort of consistent to above average offense, they can compete for the AL East. Not just a wild card spot, but to win the AL East. As we go to Alexander, it was scary at the end, but the Rays win. I agree. I was literally thinking before the 8th inning, it's like your heart's pounding a little bit. The Rays have so many games like that, so it was good to kind of have a relaxing win, and then all of a sudden it's another stressful game. But the Rays, we wouldn't have it any other way. I see a lot of people with some nice comments in here. Anna Crespo, good to see you in here as well. Thank you for the nice note there. And as we got a mad Yankees fan in here, as congrats on winning against AA pitching. Hey, I mean, half the Rays lineup is injured as well, but there's nothing you can do there. As we go to Gary, and this is what I was talking about. Juan Soto was an underrated loss for this team, and going into the season, I said on my own podcast that I don't know how much you can consistently rely on Paul Goldschmidt, and Paul Goldschmidt has ended up being fantastic. I'm not only saying Paul Goldschmidt, Cody Bellinger, these guys who didn't have great years last year, but the depth of the lineup might not be there, and the depth of the lineup right now is not there. So exactly half of our lineup is injured as well. Hunter, Bethel. So yeah, a lot more of the AL East lost again today. Boston lost. I didn't see how Baltimore was doing, but they're behind the Rays in general. So yesterday, the Rays were the only AL East team to win. And so I'm telling you guys, in the long run, you're going to look back at these last 4 series, and you see the Rays winning 3 of them as maybe a turning point in the year. We're going to look and say, man, the Rays won 92 games. The Rays won 88 games, made a wild card. And it is just huge. I'm telling you, we're going to look back on the stretch with a lot of our lineup, or a lot of our key guys out, and you're going to say, this was big to be able to get the series win in New York. Again, the Yankees, the Yankees are the team to beat in the American League right now. They made it last year, and when they get their guys healthy, they're going to be the team to beat. But if you can gain ground on them now while your lineup is also beaten down, you're going to have the chance to be able to compete for the AL East at the end of the year. So we got a nice comment here from Michi, who's a UK guy, normally listens the next day. Series winner of the D-backs, Padres, Yankees on the road is great. Let's just stay on the road. Find our form at home, and we're playoff bound. I 100% agree, and I really appreciate you joining. I love to have some overseas listeners here. I have a lot of my family that actually lives in Europe as well, so I appreciate you hopping in here. I know the earlier start means that you could get in there because I believe London might be 6 or 7 hours ahead. So appreciate you getting in here. I also appreciate you listening on a daily basis. And yeah, I agree. I'm telling you that this could be a turning point in the year. And the Rays gritting down yesterday and having that comeback win yesterday, I think just did big things for the team's confidence and big things for this team going forward. So again, the Rays are only as good as they're going to be playing the next day. And the big question I have is this offense here to stay, or is this offense again just a flash in the pan? Are they, when they go back home, are they going to go back to scoring 1 run, 2 runs, 0 runs? And I don't want to rain on the Rays parade right now because it's good vibes right now. But again, if we go back to their handful of games at home against the Royals, they scored 3 runs combined. You go back against the Yankees, 0 runs, 0 runs, 3 runs. The last game against Boston in the series, 0 runs. So the last 5 of the last seven games, the Rays offense has not been good at home. If they can find any sort of consistency, they go 4-2 at home during this stretch. I mean, I'm telling you, that will put the Rays in just a fantastic position going into when we're hopefully going to get a lot of guys back. Again, you look at this lineup. When the Rays are healthy, this is the last thing, and then we'll get out of here. You look at this Rays lineup. When the Rays are healthy, you could argue that Meisner, Mead, Jankowski, Worfed, and Walls all won't be in the lineup. Instead, there'll be, I know Junior had an off today, but Josh Lowe will be in there. Hyun King will be in there. Christian Morale hopefully will be in there and get in there. DeLuca could be in there as well. So it's just, you got to tread water right now, because I just mentioned 6 of the 5 guys in the lineup that when you're playing your best ball and hopefully have your team healthy, that aren't going to be in the lineup. So I'm telling you, if the Rays tread water now and just continue to scrap out these series wins, and you're not going to win every series, but if they stay at 500 and hopefully a few games above, once they get their guys back, they could really make a push. I appreciate everyone watching. If you're watching the replay and you made it all the way to the end, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and comment. I appreciate everyone joining live. And the Rays, unfortunately, have an off day tomorrow. And it's tough. I love doing the postcast. Won't be able to do it tomorrow, but we'll be back on Tuesday, hopefully with another Rays win against the Phillies. I appreciate everyone joining, and we'll see you guys Tuesday night.